So if you aren't familiar with the story of Berserk, but to be honest, I'm a bit jealous because I wish I can dive back into this story blindly for the first time all over again. Because there are stories that entertain us, and then there are stories that change us. There are stories that live in pages, then there are ones that carve their way into your soul, panel by panel, frame by frame. And if you ever read Berserk, you know exactly what I mean. See, this isn't just a dark fantasy manga, it's a revelation. Brutal, beautiful testament to the strength of human will and the pain that often comes with it. I mean, Kentaro Miura didn't just write a story. He literally built a world where suffering is real, but so is hope. Yes, monsters do exist, but so do heroes. I mean, you can be broken and still keep walking. And today, I want to explore why Berserk is the greatest fantasy story ever told. And if you don't agree with me, I bet you will by the end of this video, because I promise you, once you make it to the end, your life too will change forever. Now Kentaro Miura started Berserk at the age of 22. Just think about that for a second. I'm 24 right now, and I haven't accomplished even half of what he did at the time. But he was barely out of school, and he already had a vision. I mean, this raw, unfiltered world that he felt needed to be told. Over the course of about 3 decades, to be honest, Miura dedicated his life to this story. He refined his art, his world building, his themes, always pushing the boundaries on what manga could express. And when he passed in 2021, we didn't just lose an artist. I mean, we lost a story to mythic proportions. Okay, some of you might be thinking, this guy clearly loves Berserk and he's gassing it, but I promise you, it only gets worse from here, so stay tuned. But what Kentaro Miura left behind was nothing short of eternal. I mean, he gave us Guts, he gave us Griffith, he gave us the entire band of the Hulk, he gave us horror, beauty, despair, but also courage. I mean, you don't get that kind of legacy without bleeding for your work. And Miura bled, every pen stroke a scar, every chapter a heartbeat. Now, the world of Berserk is more than just a setting. The world is literally a character within itself. It's cold, unforgiving, filled with war, plague, demonic corruption, but also deep pockets of tenderness and humanity. I mean, this is a world you'll really get lost in and invested into if you just sit there and really just take it all in. You'll go from a battlefield soaked in blood to a quiet campfire where Guts finally, for a moment, gets to let his guard down. I mean, there's a realism to this world that hits different. Not just in the political systems or in lore, because that stuff is definitely relevant, but in the way it reflects our world by the tone and the humanity. I mean, our history, our darkest chapters, in some way are really reminiscent of the stories told within this manga. You'll find echoes of the Inquisition, of genocide, of religious corruption. I mean, of people caught in systems they never asked to be a part of. But it's not all chaos. There's magic, wonder, even moments of brief peace. All of it worth it, all of it told beautifully. And through all of it, there's one man, one broken, battered warrior, dragging his massive sword behind him with only one name, and that name is Guts, a man who refuses to give up. Guts might be the most compelling protagonist ever written. From the moment he's born, literally, he was born from a corpse. His life was pain, betrayal, loss, violence, all at the beginning. Here's what makes him more than just a tragic character. He fights. Even when there's no reward, no salvation, no hope. When we first meet Guts, he's literally fighting like he wants to die, yet fighting to live. I mean, he fights to survive, and eventually he learns to fight to protect. Guts begins as a lone wolf, angry, traumatized, unable to trust anyone. But slowly and painfully, you watch him open his heart again to Farnese, to Serpico, to Isidro, all these characters, and to Casca, especially to Casca. I mean, it's not a redemption arc, it's something more real. It's really just healing. Gradual, uneven, but powerful healing. I mean, Guts, his name, his life is pain, but he learns to love. He's the light Miura hid in all this darkness. Now, Guts is the soul of Berserk. Griffith is without a doubt his haunting shadow. He starts as magnetic, visionary, almost divine in his conviction and how he's presented. He inspires loyalty amongst the group, admiration, even love. I mean, but underneath that charm, something else, something sinister, an ambition detached from morality. A dream that will be fulfilled no matter the cost. And when Griffith finally sacrifices the band of the Hulk, I mean, the people who trusted and literally bled for this man. It just isn't betrayal, it's apocalypse. I mean, Griffith doesn't just fall, he chooses to fall. See, everything in the story is about choice. Even though characters are put in these impossible situations, in the end, they all get a choice. He becomes Femto, literal demon, and yet still believes he's destined to rule and doing the right thing. I mean, what makes Griffith terrifying isn't that he's just evil, it's that he's believable. I mean, he's what happens when the end always justifies the means, no matter the cost. Now, the Golden Age is definitely the most iconic part of this story. And it isn't just the best arc in Berserk, it might be the best arc in manga, period. I mean, a slow, emotional buildup of loyalty, ambition, love, and inevitable tragedy. We get to watch Guts grow. We see him laugh. We see him become a better person. I mean, he started off as a stone cold killer, and we see him progress more and more into a friend, a partner, I mean, a loved one. And we see it all ripped away in one of the most devastating moments in fiction. The eclipse isn't just horrifying because of what happens. It's horrifying because it matters, because Miura made us care first. The Golden Age arc teaches us that happiness is real and that it can be taken as quickly as it's given. But it also teaches us that the fight doesn't end in a loss. Because Guts walks out, sure, he lost the people he cared for. He's brutally hurt, scarred, bleeding, but he's alive. And no matter everything he went through, Guts still fights. And that is everything. I mean, Miura's art is in a league of his own. We're not just talking about the story. I mean, the literal penmanship and drawing is out of this world. It's not just technically brilliant, it's operatic. It's not just brilliant, it's a masterpiece. I mean, every panel is a painting, every spread is a war cry, and it's a pleasure to see from chapter 1 all the way to his final chapter how much his art progressed and how much love he put into each and every pen stroke. I mean, it's staggering, almost too much to take in at once. But it's not the big moments, it's the monsters, the battles, all of the quiet ones that have the most detail. A single look between Guts and Casca is told so well just by the artwork. I mean, a fire in the woods, night sky above a weary camp, all of this art with little to no dialogue during these sections just to make everything stand out more. See, Miura knew how to balance chaos with the calm, or with humanity. He didn't just draw scenes, he drew souls. Back to the original topic. What makes Berserk the best fantasy story isn't just the world, the characters, or even the art. It's the themes that anchor all of it. Berserk is about trauma. It's about the long, slow road to healing. It doesn't lie to you. I mean, there are no quick fixes, no miracles, and it gets pretty bleak at times. I'm not gonna lie. But it does tell you one thing. Healing is possible, and there's always a good ending. Even for someone like Guts, even for someone like Casca, even for Griffith. I mean, it's all about fate and the power to defy it. The world tries to break Guts at every turn. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I know of any anime protagonist has taken more L's than Guts and is still standing. But the God Hand tells him he has no choice, but he makes one anyway. And that's what makes this manga so goated. I mean, Guts chooses to love, he chooses friendship, he chooses life, and that's what makes him heroic. Not that he wins every battle, but that he never stops fighting. I mean, Berserk has inspired a generation. You see it all over the place in things like Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Final Fantasy, Elden Ring, even Game of Thrones owes a little bit of a debt, but nothing has ever matched it in my opinion. And even though Miura didn't live long enough to finish the story, what he left behind is enough, and the continuation so far has been amazing. I do believe if you are a fan of Berserk, continue to support his work and his team that he had built up around him. I just know that they have great things planned and that they'll properly treat his work correctly, because even though Miura isn't here and he didn't get to finish what he left behind, Berserk is about the journey. He taught us that, the struggle, the fight, and that the fight lives on in every panel, every fan, every heart it ever touched. So if you never read Berserk, do it. Not because it's perfect, but because it's true, but also because it's perfect. I mean, no matter how dark it gets, there's always someone, one man with a giant sword, still fighting through the night. The Black Swordsman, still walking through the night.